Hey, welcome back to Puckered Pout. Today I'm gonna do a fun pink look. I know, I always do pink looks because I freaking love pink so much, but I have been doing this eye look and seriously, everybody that looks at my eyes lately is like, oh my gosh, what palette are you using? How did you get that look? So I figured it was about time to do this look. It is sparkly, it is pink, it's pretty much everything girly you could ever want in an eye look. And you can make it less dramatic, more dramatic. You can make it kind of smoky. I'm just gonna show you how I do it on an everyday basis, and then you can kind of use your imagination how you want to, like enhance it however you want. But I'm going to be using the BlushSense. This is Pink Berry BlushSense. So this just came out in October of last year, so it's only been out for about 6 months. But I not only use it, I don't have it on my cheeks right now because I'm gonna show you kind of how I'm gonna do that too, but I'm gonna match the two. Just kind of tie it all in together, but I use this almost every single day for my cheeks, but then I also use it for my eyes. So I'm gonna mix this with Copper Rose Shimmer, which is a copper color with some shimmer in it, and then also the new Rose Gold Shimmer if you guys like the more like super dramatic sparkly look, which is kind of my favorite sometimes. I mean, I think there's a time and place for both matte and sparkly eyes, but I love a good sparkly eye. So first I'm going to mix the two together. So I actually have primed my eyes with Candlelight like I always do. Candlelight ShadowSense, but I'm going to mix the two, the BlushSense and the Copper Rose Shimmer. I'm gonna mix the two. I'm gonna do a little bit more of the Copper Rose Shimmer than I do the Pink Berry. The Pink Berry is like really pink and it's really pigmented. It's gorgeous, but depending on how much pink you want, you can kind of do your own ratio as to the mixture when you are mixing the two together just to kind of get the right shade that you want. I'm gonna do a little bit more pink than I normally do it because I saw this graphic the other day of this girl wearing pink shimmery eyeshadow and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna add more pink. So I'm gonna add more pink on this video, but again, you guys can just kind of pick and choose which one you wanna do more of, depending on whether or not you want like a super bright pink or you kind of want just like a muted pink, but you kind of want some shimmer in it. So let's go ahead and get started. I'll show you kind of the ratio of what I do in order to get the mixture that I'm going to be using. So I actually use our blending palette. I sell this as well. So if you guys want one of these, it's $5 and it's awesome. It comes with like 50 sheets of blending paper and I can use one sheet of paper over and over and over again. So it lasts a long time, but I like it just because it's not quite as porous. And so I get more use of my products when I actually put it on here versus it like seeping through the paper, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to add 3 dollops, if you will, of the Copper Rose Shimmer onto the blending palette. And then I'm going to add a semi-large dot of this and then I'm gonna blend it together. And I'm gonna put it on the paper and I'll show you what that mixture is going to look like. Okay, so just really quick, this is like 3 big swirls full and then like a dollop on the blending palette of the Copper Rose Shimmer. And now I'm gonna do 1 dot of the Pink Berry BlushSense. Let's see if I can show it on camera. Ooh. You wanna be careful because you don't wanna squeeze too much and then have it come out in one big glob. So I'm doing it really slowly. Oh, there we go. Okay, so 1 big, do you guys see that? Okay, so that's kind of what the ratio is gonna look like. I might add a little bit more depending on how pink that's gonna be, but let me mix it really quick and I'll show you. Okay, so this is what the mixture looks like. I do want it a little bit more pink, so I'm gonna add like 1/2 of a dollop or 1/2 of like a squeeze drop onto this mixture already, and then I'm gonna blend it a little bit more and I'll give you the outcome of that. Okay, this is so much better. I don't know if you can see it very well, but this mixture is exactly what I want. So it's a lot more pink, but it does have that copper look to it, so it's not gonna be like this super, super bright pink. And the reason why I use the Pink Berry BlushSense over, let's say like the Pink Posy ShadowSense is because the Pink Berry is just like a really bright pink, which I really like sometimes. I love using the Pink Posy, but sometimes I just want it to be a little bit brighter, and that's where the Pink Berry comes in. So that's why I'm using the Pink Berry instead of any of our other ShadowSenses. And did you know that any of our cosmetics is actually LipSense mixed with like moisturizers? So you could actually use LipSense as well. So if there's a color LipSense that you like are dying to put on another part of your face, guess what? You can do that. You just have to mix it with some moisturizer and then make sure it's like the right ratio, and then you can apply it anywhere on your face. So you can use it for blush, you can use it for your eyes. It's pretty awesome. But anyway, okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started before this gets too dry. So I already have it on my brush. And what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna look in the mirror for this, but I'm going to put it all over my lid. See how pink that is? It's like super, super pink, but don't worry. It's not gonna be like crazy. If you guys have watched my videos before, you know what I'm talking about. Sometimes your eyes can look crazy until you start putting on everything else. And then once the final product is applied and you have your lashes on, if you wear fake lashes like I do, it just all kind of ties in together. I'm gonna take it up just a little bit, just because when I do have my lashes on, my lashes kind of go up to that point, and so I want you to be able to see my eyeshadow behind my eyelashes. If you don't wear fake eyelashes or your lashes aren't very long, then don't go up quite so high, because then you'll kind of look funny. Just make it to where it's like a pretty contrast to your eyelashes. So however far up your eyelashes go, kind of make that the stopping point for where you put your eyeshadow. Okay. Now I also take this, so this is a dual-ended mascara brush. I love these brushes just because they're so multi-dimensional, multifunctional, I should say. This is a fluffy end, and then this is like a more, it's not pointy, but it's just more dense and more pointed so that I can get more exact lines. So I'm gonna take that same mixture and I'm gonna put it underneath my eyes as well. And this will just kind of tie everything in together so it's not so much color just on top of my eyes, but also underneath. Doesn't look like I blended very well right here. The nice thing about ShadowSense too is you have a little bit of time to kind of blend it in before it sets. But once it sets, this will be water resistant, smudge proof, budge proof. It's pretty amazing. It'll last all day long. Okay, so I'm gonna let that dry for just a minute, just to let it set, and then we're gonna go on to making a little bit of a contour with Garnet like I usually do. Actually, just kidding. We're gonna use the Rose Gold Shimmer first, just to add a little bit more sparkle. Again, this step isn't necessary if you don't like a lot of sparkle, but let me just kind of get a little bit closer up. Like, there's a little bit of sparkle in this from the Copper Rose Shimmer, but this has like a lot of glitter. So the thing that I've noticed with Rose Gold Shimmer, I don't know why I can't talk today, with Rose Gold Shimmer is it's like a lot of glitter, and it can fall out if you don't apply it correctly. So I'm actually going to apply it just straight onto my lid, and then I'm gonna blend a little bit. Normally I would use a flat brush to kind of pack it on, but I don't necessarily want it to cover up the pink that's already on my eye. So I'm just gonna lightly blend, and then it will be totally fine. But if you are just using this on your eyes, I would recommend using a flat brush and just kind of patting it on, because that way it will pack it on more and the glitter won't fall off as much, okay? So I'm just gonna lightly put some on my eyes right here. Okay, and then I'm going to blend, and I'm using the same exact brush so I can kind of add a little bit of pink to it still. Because like I said, I don't want it to completely cover the pink that's already on my eye. But I'm really just doing it to my eyelid. I'm not going up with the sparkle as much onto the rest of my eye. I want it to kind of be an effect where when I close my eye, you see more of the sparkle. Now that that's set, I'm going to go in with Garnet, which is that dark brown with kind of a reddish tint to it. And I'm gonna do a little bit of contour on the outer part of my eye. again, just to add some contrast. It makes it a little bit more of a smoky eye, so if you don't want to do that step, that's fine. If you just want to do this with some eyeliner in your lashes and you're good to go. But I love this eye look so much. In fact, I went to a corporate training just a little bit ago, and a lot of girls there were like, oh my gosh, how did you do that? So again, I figured it was just time to do this look. Okay, so I'm gonna use Garnet. I'm just going to dab a little bit on like that. There's barely anything on my brush. Again, these shadow sensors are very, very blendable and buildable. So you wanna start out with a little bit when you're going in like with a darker color, with a darker pigmented color, because you don't wanna make it too bold or too dark at first. You can kind of layer it and build upon the color as needed. So again, it's just a very, very small amount of this Garnet. And again, I'm gonna look in my mirror. But I always line up the contour with the tip of my brow. So I make it to where it's like a straight line from the edge of my eye to my brow. That's just kind of how I define it. And you don't go all the way in, you just kind of stay right here in the corner and then just kind of blend out so that it all blends in together. But you see how it kind of just adds a little bit of dimension to my eye to where it's not just straight pink. Okay, I'm gonna do the same thing to the other eye. Okay. You just want to make sure that it's pretty seamless. It's a pretty seamless transition between the pink and the brown. So you don't want to have it be like straight up brown in the corner of your eye or whatever color you're using to contour your eye. You want to make sure that it blends kind of seamlessly, almost like it's melted in. So use a fluffier brush like this to kind of make sure that it all is blended in. Okay. Then, okay, so now I have my look. I'm happy with it. I'm happy with the transition. I'm happy with how it looks. So now I'm gonna come back with a full eye on and you'll see kind of how I tie it all in. But first, I want to show you how I match this color on my cheeks to my eyes, because right now my eyes are just super, super like boom, right? So I want to make sure that the rest of my face just kind of flows together. I don't want my eyes to be such a big contrast from the rest of my face. I want to all kind of tie in together. So I'm going to use Pinkberry blush on my cheeks as well, and I'll be right back to show you how I do that. Okay, so I've done my eyes. What do you think? Okay, this is how I like to do it. So I do a little bit of a wing if you guys like a wing, and then you can see the shimmer. Okay, and then the contour, and that's how I do it. Okay, so, but I don't like that my cheeks aren't quite as pink. I feel like my eyes look really, really bold, and the rest of my face is kind of muted. Again, I think that's just personal preference. I think some of you are like, no, I think it looks great. Again, personal preference. This is how I'm going to finish my look. I'm going to finish it off using the Pinkberry BlushSense on my cheeks. I'm just going to use a little bit. Again, this is a very, very pigmented color. A little goes a long way, and blend, 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 okay? So I just have a cheap e.l.f. brush. This is just a blush brush. I got it from Target, I think. And what I do is I just use like a tiny, tiny, tiny dot, and it goes a long way for both of my cheeks, actually. You can tell I use it a lot because I'm kind of running out. Okay, so literally like that tiny of a dot will go a long way, okay? So again, I'm going to use my mirror behind this camera. I'm just going to lightly tap it on and then blend, 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 blend. And I just think that it creates this really pretty brightened up look for the rest of my face so that my eyes don't quite look so like, whoa. Even though I like that, let's be honest. But do you see how that kind of all blended in together? Okay, last but not least, I'm going to use Sandstone Pearl Shimmer. It's a really pretty yellow base, like super light neutral color with shimmer in it to kind of accentuate any area of your face or your eyes that you kind of want to highlight. So I'm actually going to take this really little flat brush and I'm just going to dab it onto the applicator, and I'm going to just apply it to the inner corners of my eyes like this. And then just kind of tap it in to blend it in a little bit. Just a little bit more. There we go. Okay, and then just tap it in to kind of blend it in. Okay, I'm gonna do the same thing to the other side. I'm gonna do the same thing right underneath my eyebrow arch. Okay. Like that. So it just kind of adds a little bit of a highlight to these inner corners of my eyes. So when the light hits my eyes, it just makes my eyes look like more open and more bright, and I just really like it. So there is the look. Again, I think the blush just kind of tied it all in together. Totally my opinion, but I like it. I like having a little bit more color to my cheeks. It just makes me look more youthful and alive and happy, and I like that. So this is my look for the day. Thank you for joining, and I hope you got some good inspiration for your next eye look. If you guys have any questions about any of the products that I use, they're all SeneGence products. But if you have any questions, please let me know, and everything will be linked down below for you guys to purchase. Also, please like and subscribe if you like this video, and share if you want to help others achieve this eye look as well. Thanks, and have a great day.